And I think this is why I said this doesn't necessarily relate just to parents, but just to people in general.
I would love to be a stay-at-home mom. I would love to be a homemaker and a wife. I would love to be able to live on a homestead and go milk my cow and take the eggs out of the chicken coop and have one baby in the belly and on my hip and another toddler coming behind me. That's like my dream, but I can't do that because the way the economy is set up is I'm forced to work. I'm forced to get an education, a higher education, a college degree in order to make enough money that I can be financially independent and afford my own home or my own rent or my own gas or my own groceries, my own insurance. And it's extremely difficult to do that. And it's very isolating as a woman when you have to do all of that all on your own, and you can't find somebody that you can outsource some of those chores and financial responsibilities like you would with a spouse. So no, being a single working woman absolutely sucks. It's the worst thing ever. I hate it. I would go back to the 1950s in a second just so I wouldn't have to deal with this shit.
Debatable, but yeah.
It's an argument. I think a lot of people would make the argument. I think most people would make the argument that they would go back in time to the 50s, 60s, 70s where everything's more affordable. In fact, everybody, not just white people, I've gotten a lot of black people. Even the communal aspect of things, a lot of people make the argument that communities were probably better back then as well to some degree in terms of like between black people and black Americans. I've heard them make that argument many, many times. I mean, if you're gonna bring up the whole racism, people are gonna say it's racism today. That's what they're gonna say.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be it's not as bad. Like,
hey, listen,
I get it. I get the argument.
Here's what I'm gonna tell you.
Different.
You know what? I'm gonna ask y'all the question. Would y'all accept the racism for back then if it means that you don't gotta work like a dog today for minimum wage or for dog shit wage and I never have a house? Almost everybody's gonna say yes.
We'll see.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh, I would. Absolutely. Absolutely. If I was working a dead-end job, making 45, 50K a year, and I go back in time and probably get to afford a house and do all that other shit, send me back. That's me personally, though.
That's just because I listen to the stories of my parents just coming here. And the stories I've heard, like my stories are not fun. But what they went through, shit, I'm good. But I would rather that than whatever the they had back then.
Fair. Maybe I'll feel differently, though. Let me know. To what this lady's saying, I think a lot of people feel this way. A lot of folks work completely out of necessity and not because they feel like it's the optimal route in their life. I think it's like most women especially say they'd love to be able to raise the kids at least for the first few years of when they're out and not have to worry about their finances if that was possible. And they wish that they lived in a place where that was an accessible opportunity for them. But a lot of them don't feel like that's the case 100%. Financially. When you do this life for so long, you build certain skill sets, you build a certain mode. And this goes back to what I was saying, like when I relate to my mom, like that experience, is like it's hard to undo that programming. So this is actually like an interesting thing happened more so with my mom. My mom's been a hard worker her whole life. I think that's where I get a lot of my work ethic from, a lot of my financial habits in terms of saving money and stuff like that. I get that from her. My mom has just always had jobs, even up until her like mid-60s. She's always been working like pretty laborious jobs. So that's just what I'm kind of used to seeing her. Obviously, with me in this YouTube situation, I get a lot of liberties where I can kind of help out in certain situations. But she's always somebody who wants to pitch in. She always wants to help. When I try to offer her help, she's like, no, it's okay. No. It's okay.
You say that shit and I see You say that shit and I see her.
I don't need it. No, I don't want a problem. No, I don't want a problem. No, it's okay. And I was like, lady, I saw you eating Cheerios for like 5 days. Just take the money. Just stop being stupid. Just go eat something nice. No, it's okay. Allah is thing. Which means, Allah will provide. And I was like, well, He giving me the money to provide, so take it. It's been like that for a couple years now. I still take care of certain things here and there, but like, it's a fight to help.
Yes.
Even like the most basics. I told you this story. Lady calls me one day and we're just talking and she's like, oh yeah, I can't see. I was like, what do you mean you can't see? She's like, my eyes, they're not working. I was like, what do you mean they don't? What do you mean your eyes don't work? Open your eyes. She's like, no, open, not work. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, the doctor said,
yo, parents are so stupid.
No, yeah. Oh, the doctor says, maybe I lose eyesight.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I was like, what? When did this happen?
First they don't tell you, yeah. And then when they...
I was like, so can you fix it or like what's gonna happen? She's like, yeah, I can fix it. So I'm like, why did you fix it? She's like, I don't want to bother you or go to the doctor. Every time I tell this story, I get mad.
No, and
I say, yo, take your ass to the hospital.
And every time you get mad, I get mad.
Yeah, because it's just like
the same thing with my parents.
You don't think you're gonna fucking bother me if you blind, stupid? Like, what are you talking about? And I imagine that's how my mom must have looked at some of us kids when we were saying dumb shit. But it's like, lady, do you know I had a crazy realization recently as like we just kind of chilled out and relaxed. You know, we talk a lot and we talk at length about, you know, her childhood, her experiences growing up, family, and this actually I think relates to like a lot of people in general. I don't think it's just about women specifically, but a little bit to a higher degree. For a lot of people who've lived in survival mode or had to work really hard, a lot of them did not do so out of want, but more so out of need.
Yeah.
Right? So they work these double, triple jobs. They do it for lengthy periods. Even when they got the money, they can't stop. Why? Because nobody in life was ever going to take care of them. So they had to fight to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And even though they now have these opportunities to relax, it's like a battle robot. When you're programmed for war, you don't know how to just go back and just start doing like regular civilian shit. So her, even though she strived to create this life for us where we could have a life of comfort, she can't accept it because she's been programmed in this mode. And everybody who's been around her has not necessarily given her the opportunities for her to relax. Or when she's thought she could, people took it away and rug pulled her. So she's like, I'm never gonna trust none of you motherfuckers.
And you know what's that called?
What?
PTSD.
Sure, that's one way to put it. Now she's learning to accept a bit of comfort in a life that's always been full of struggle and work. And that's a lot of people's experiences. They're so programmed to do things one way. It's not that they don't want another life. It's just like they can't see themselves in it and they're tight. Relaxing was a mistake. I can't do that. I can never do that because that's a mistake. And you know what it makes me think of? This is a fucked up analogy, but it's like those abandoned dogs who were abused.
Yeah.
They don't trust you right away.
No.
They don't know how because like
Every time you're gonna move,
they don't flinch.
You're gonna beat them.
Yeah. So I'm looking at her in this period of life, and I'm just like, it's okay. You go ahead, take it. Are you sure? I'm sure. She'll reluctantly take it. Thank you. You're not gonna ask for it back. I can't accept. Okay, but don't control me. Don't try to ever, and don't take it back. But thank you, and just okay. Are you sure? You promise? Please don't lie to me. And like you can just see the emotional progress of every little step to get comfortable enough to trust someone to take care of you.
Yeah,
because you've never had it. It's cool to see the layers get peeled back on the human experience. It's just like, oh yeah, she's having all this newfound time and this ability to relax a little bit. She still works to some degree, but like she's having to discover new parts because she's never had time to relax. There's so many little things, from bills, from assessments, from repairs, from mortgages, from student financing, from whatever it is, credit card repayments, chores around the house, vote. There's just like all these little responsibilities that accumulate and start to overwhelm you a little bit. And for me, doing some of the small stuff is the hardest part. I can do the big shit all the time. The smaller things, I struggle with them a little bit. Like when I look at my assistant sometimes and she's just taking care of some parts of my life, I'm like, oh, bitch, I don't love you, but I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Maybe this is just me and like my whole ADHD thing. Yeah. But there's like little things that are important to do every year that is just so debilitating. And having my assistant now at like my latter years now, because like before that I had to do everything before my 30, like before 32 I did everything on my own. Now when my assistant, sometimes I'm like, you know, for taxes, like can't do it. Just like, okay, you want to know how stupid I am? Look at this, how funny. Like, I'm slapping myself because I deserve it.
Calm down.
I didn't do my taxes for 9 years.
Shit, yeah.
Okay? 9 years. In fact, it was so bad I didn't do my taxes. And it's just like irresponsible. I'm an idiot. I own it. Don't even bother saying. Write in the comments right now how stupid I am, okay? Very fucking dumb.
I've been told tell you. But anyways.
Oh, it was before I met you. Doesn't matter.
Even before?
From when I was 18. I'll tell you exactly what happened, how I stopped paying. This whole time, I'm paying my rent. I've paid off part of my mom's mortgage. I've traveled. So I'm no credit card debt. I'm not like a financially rich person. I've always managed my finances easy. And the reason why is I remember this. I was 18. I'd already been working for about 2-3 years. So I'd already been collecting paychecks and doing my taxes. And then 18th year, I had a lot of bonuses that year. And if you aren't aware, bonuses are taxed differently. So I go to do my tax return and the guy's like, you owe $900. And I went, huh? You mean I owe $900? This is like 2009. You mean I don't? I was like, all right, cool, I'll be back. And I never went back. And I never paid. I couldn't. I thought tax returns like, you give me my money back. Now, there's a good ending to this story.
Yes, there is.
The government contacts me one day and they're like, we did your taxes for the night here. Here's $3,000. Because I was making so little, like it just worked out pretty nicely for me. Thank God, because if it wasn't, I would have been paying interest.
Don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
The other day, my mom asked me, "Why you ain't got no kids?" And I said, "What the fuck are you talking about? I got two." She's like, "Your cats?" I'm like, first of all, they're not my cats, they're my girl's cats. Y'all too. These my kids right here. Y'all too. It's like, my mom comes and talks to me and she's like, "Yo, you have to talk to your dad because your dad doesn't want to take his medication. And he's had seizures in the past, and we already had this conversation. And, you know, you sit down and you talk to them and you try to understand. I don't try to understand shit with my parents anymore. I sat down with my dad and I said, "You're dead. And I'm saying that to you because it's better for me to know that you've accepted that you died and you're gonna die. You're gonna die. You've accepted that because I can't take your medicine from me. You can have a seizure while you sleep and you die." I didn't fucking try to. You know why? Because my dad used to be a fucking nurse. That's his job! To give medicine to people and to warn them about what's gonna happen if they don't fucking do it. And now he doesn't fucking do it.
Our lives are kind of socially programmed to not be for families, to not be for a more relaxed lifestyle. And that's more of a, especially North American lifestyle. You know, some of my friends who live in Europe, especially like in Spain, for example, they have much more of a balanced life. They have certain different values.
Sure. A lot of my friends are complaining about that are single and then try to live through life, and they're like, "Yo, this is difficult." My cousins that have kids, even though the way we're set up here is better than the States where they have longer time with the kids, still, they would take a little longer to be able to be there for the kids.
Yeah, listen, doing this whole thing by yourself is tough. Doing it with the wrong person is worse. I can say this for sure. I've had the same roommate for 10 years. We complement each other really well. He handles his parts. I handle my part. We cover for each other. When having somebody you live with who can cover for you, I could tell you, not even from a relationship, but just having a roommate who's like solid, been game changing. Yo, can you grab this thing from my work spot? I left this at home. And this is why they always say, it takes a village to raise whatever. It's not just to raise a child. It also takes a village just to make shit work a lot of the times. Like, can you do it by yourself? Yes. But a lot of the times it's exponentially harder depending on your financial situation and how much flexibility you have in your life.
You know what? Because of the work and things that you have to remember to do, if I was alone, I wouldn't have the house.
That's real.
I 100% wouldn't have the house.
When I went to go buy a house or buy the condo, my first purchase ever for a property, I had to talk to a bank person. Yeah. I had to go talk to a realtor. I had to go talk to a notary. I had to go talk to the building company. I had to talk to someone else's real estate agent for the spot, right? So it's like, and I'm like, sometimes life is having to do all of these people's jobs without these people being present. Some aspects of life. Like, you know how you have experts for all these things? There's some aspects of life that you just got to kind of deal with it on your own. And it's just like, good luck. There's a lot of things where if you don't have the middleman, it's just so much accumulated work that normally someone specializes in, you just got to do it on your own. In my opinion, I feel like life is not meant to be done by yourself. People manage, they survive, but it's not optimal, and I don't think in the long term it's good for most.
Not a ways none. All the people that are living in communes and communities and stuff like that, they got like 6 families. I get it.
That's why I've never understood like the lone wolf people. I'm like, I did a lot of stuff myself. I hate it every second. In my opinion, finding the right people is definitely very, very possible if you try. So to me, it's just like life is so much better with the right people around. And I'm not talking about partner. I'm not talking about a spouse. I'm just talking about people who can babysit from time to time. I'm talking about people who can cat sit. I'm talking about people who can just take care of your stuff and help you out. Friends who cover for you on certain areas. It's just...
I feel like the lone wolf thing is really romanticized by Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think it's a special kind of person to do that.
Agreed. But yeah, let us know what y'all think in the comments.